In this video, we're going to take a look at subtracting fractions. And hopefully you'll be beginning to look at this video after already having mastered the adding of fractions, because what you will notice is that they operate much of the same way. The same rules that exist for addition also exist for subtraction when we look at fractions. So our first golden rule of having to have the same denominator holds true when subtracting fractions as well. And as I mentioned, it works a lot like addition. So for an example, we have 7/8 minus 3/8, which, if we follow our rules, we have the same denominator of 8. So then I look at the numerator, the 7 minus the 3, and instead of adding those two numbers, I subtract them. So 7 minus 3 would be 4, and then I keep the denominator of 8. We can model this down below by thinking about how we have 7 out of 8 slices. So we have 7 out of 8 slices of this fraction pie, or this fraction model, and we are going to take away 3 of those slices. So we're going to go ahead and erase 1, 2, and 3 slices. Well, how much does that leave us with? We have this remaining. 4 out of the 8 slices. But we can't just leave it written as 4/8 because it can be simplified. Both 4 and 8 are divisible by 4. So 4 divided by 4 reduces down to 1. And then if I divide the denominator by the same amount, make that a 4, I would get 1/2. Well, if I look at my model, what I've shaded in red, doesn't that kind of make sense? That I have 1/2 of the pie shaded. So this was an example where I had the same denominator and how I go about subtracting the fractions. Let's now look at an example where I do not have the same denominators. So I'm going to set it up the same way I did in addition. I'm going to do 3/4 minus 1/3. I'm going to set it up vertically just to give myself a little bit more room to work. Okay, I look for what would my common denominator be? What would be the LCM of 4 and 3? Well, in this case, they have no other factors in common, so my least common multiple would indeed be 12, where I'd have to multiply the 4 by 3 to get to 12, so 3 times 3 would be 9, so that I'm fair. And then if I look at the 1/3, 3 times 4 would be 12, so 1 times 4 then would be 4. So I have 9/12. I'm going to put a minus sign here just to remind me that I'm subtracting. So I've got 9/12 minus 4/12. Well, 9 minus 4 would give me 5, and then I keep the 12 in the denominator. So, and I cannot simplify. There's no other factor in common between 5 and 12. So my final answer, 3/4 minus 1/3, would equal 5/12. Okay. So remember, in the end, if you need to, check to see if you have to reduce. Okay, in this case, I did not, so I was okay. I hope this video has been helpful for you, and good luck continuing to work on subtracting fractions.